I'm going to introduce Reverend Vera McNally, and she is going to talk to us about gratitude as a spiritual superpower. Holy moly. Okay, Reverend Vera.
There, think I'm on. Oh, need one more thing. I always forget things. Must be the snow. Okay, good morning and welcome. Thank you all for coming out on this wonderful day. I know we don't like to see the white stuff, but we need to be thankful that I was talking to my partner Lauren this morning, and he was complaining about the snow. Doesn't like the snow. And I said, you know what? It could be worse. We could be somewhere where they have these huge scorpions and these huge spiders and earthquakes and tornadoes. And I said, so a little bit of snow to shovel, I said, is truly a blessing. Well, exactly. So, we're really lucky here. So I'm grateful that I don't have any of those creepy crawlies and stuff like that. Okay. So I invite you to take a moment and just settle into our sacred space. And thank you again for all being here on this Thanksgiving weekend. Today is a beautiful reminder to pause, to open up our hearts, and to recognize the abundance that already fills our lives. So as you get comfortable, if you'd like to close your eyes, I'd like to do an opening treatment. There is one infinite presence, the source of all life, love, and goodness. This presence is everywhere, in all things, expressing through all creation. It is the heartfelt of joy, the essence of abundance, and the vibration of pure gratitude itself. We are one with this infinite presence. The life of God is our life now. The power of gratitude flows through us, awakening our awareness to the good that already surrounds us. Every breath we take, every beat of our heart, every experience of this day is an opportunity to give thanks and to expand into more of the divine. Let us be grateful for the love that fills our life, for the peace that steadfasts our soul, and the divine intelligence that guides our way. With every expression of gratitude, we step more fully into the light of spirit, into joy, and into the abundance that already is ours. With a grateful heart, we release these words into the law, knowing it's already so, and we say, and so it is. I'd like to begin with a quote from Ernest Holmes. Gratitude is not a mental attitude that must be learned. It's a spiritual awareness that is ever-present good. And in the scriptures, it reminds us in 1 Thessalonians 5:18, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Notice it says in everything, not for everything. Gratitude isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about recognizing the light of spirit within every experience. So why do we easily get caught up in the what's missing, what's wrong, or what we fear may not come? So how many times have we done spiritual mind treatment? And we put it out there and we affirm that it's there, and all of a sudden, and of course, we always put a date on it, don't we? Like we do our treatment and an hour later we want it. And then it doesn't happen, and then what happens? We get disappointed. We get, oh, it doesn't work, I don't know why I try. But be grateful that you were able to do that spiritual mind treatment and know that it's coming. It's coming in divine timing. So right in plain sight, there's a force, an energy that can transform our inner world and ripple out into our outer world. And that power is gratitude. So when we're grateful for what we have in our life, and even the small little things, even the snow, and even having to shovel the snow, because when you shovel snow, you get exercise. So then you don't have to go to the gym that day. Depends on how much snow you have. And then after you shovel the snow, you can go inside and have a coffee or a tea and just say, wow, look at that. I'm done for the day. Unless it's snowing continually. And that's happened how many times? And we get our snow blowers out, and it seems that's all we're doing all winter long. But be thankful that we have the snow, because guess what? It brings moisture. And have you noticed that when you go out, when you're driving out, there's all these little ponds that we had, I don't know what you call them, not retention ponds like we have in Calgary, but out in the fields, I guess, where you see all the ducks and the geese. Pardon me? Yes. Have you noticed they've been drying out? I mean, we need that moisture for our deer and our elk, and we need it for the geese and the ducks and stuff like that. So be thankful we have this snow, and be thankful we get to shovel that, because now if they all dry up, we won't be able to see those beautiful creatures when we're driving or going on our walk. So let's be thankful for this snow. And if you need someone to shovel it, don't call me. I'm going to have enough time shoveling my own. So gratitude is not a polite thank you or a fleeting feeling when life goes our way. Gratitude is a spiritual superpower, a conscious choice, a practice, a way of seeing the world that aligns us with the abundance rather than scarcity, joy rather than lack, and love rather than fear. Ernest Holmes also reminds us, when you begin to express a life of gratitude, you find that all conditions are already perfect for the realization of your good. Gratitude is, in essence, the art of recognizing the divine presence in everything. It opens the heart, tunes our consciousness to the frequency of love and life itself, and is available to every one of us in every moment, every breath we take. So today, let's explore gratitude not as a polite habit, but as a spiritual superpower. So let's see how we can transform our perception, how it heals our hearts, and connects us to the infinite source of abundance. So at its core, gratitude is an act of perception, the ability to notice and acknowledge the good that already exists. So isn't it true, our perception of what's going on in the world? Like when we look outside, it's snow, somebody will say, oh no, not again. And other people are so excited because they get their skis out and their snowboards and they're heading to the mountains, and it's snowing like crazy, and they're plowing snow with their car and not waiting for the snowplow to go through, right? And they're happy. And some of us are sitting there with our shovels like, oh, not again. So be grateful, though, that you can get out and shovel those walks. Be grateful. Life is not inherently good or bad. It simply is. What we label as good or bad is filtered through the lens of our consciousness. When we practice gratitude, we choose to focus on what is working and what is alive and what is present. We shift our lens from lack to abundance. And this shift, though subtle, is profoundly powerful. Imagine your life as a pair of glasses. When you wear the glasses of fear, scarcity, or resentment, the world appears bleak and heavy. But when we put our glasses of gratitude on, even ordinary moments sparkle. The morning sunlight shines and becomes a miracle. A warm cup of coffee or tea becomes a blessing. A kind word from a friend becomes a sacred exchange of love. Science supports the ancient spiritual truth. Studies in positive philosophy show that people who regularly practice gratitude experience more joy, better health, stronger relationships, and less stress. Gratitude literally rewires the brain to notice abundance rather than lack. It increases a self-enforcing loop of goodness. But gratitude's greatest power appears in times of difficulty. When we choose to find even one thing to be grateful for amid challenge, we are not denying reality, we are transcending it. We rise above fear, align ourselves with a larger flow of life. A while back, I was coaching a woman in Calgary, and she had told me that she had nothing to be grateful for. The world is just horrible, people are horrible, life is falling apart, I don't like my job, and she just went on and on and on. She was exhausted, because when you carry that much negativity in your life, it exhausts you. She was overwhelmed and she was discouraged. So I asked her, simply, name 3 things each day that you can be grateful for. And she kind of looked at me, thought I had 3 heads. Like, excuse me, didn't you hear what I just told you? I told you my life is terrible. I don't see anything positive about my life. So you're asking me to I said, well, try with 1. Try 1. Well, even that's too hard. I said, well, I'm going to give you an assignment. So for a week, I want you to go and write down at least 1 a day. I said, and if you can, do 3. A week later, she came back and she said, I can't believe it. Just those 3 little things made a difference. So she could see her child, even when the child wasn't happy, could she see the blessing in her child? She could see the blessing of getting up every morning and going to a job, because guess what? Many people don't have a job. So she found those blessings, and she did the 3. And she said, sometimes I even did more. So, yes, gratitude is a healing presence. So, like I said, gratitude is a healer, medicine for the heart and the soul. When we dwell on what's missing, resentment and fear take root. But gratitude softens the heart and creates fertile soil for love, joy, and compassion to grow. The heart and mind are intimately connected. Our thoughts shape our emotions, and our emotions shape our actions. When we dwell on complaints, our energy contracts. When we practice gratitude, we open the heart, release tension, and invite love inside. This power transforms relationships. Now imagine a couple who are always focusing on each other's faults. And this is easy to do. It doesn't have to just be a couple, but you could be your siblings. I have a few of those. So walls rise up, love feels distant. Now imagine that same couple and this are your siblings. You're choosing to express deep appreciation for them. From small acts, for laughter, for presence. Over time, resentment melts, trust deepens, and love renews itself. And I know in my family, there was 6 of us. We now have 4. And a couple of my siblings don't get along very well, and they're always complaining about the other one never phones me or never contacts, I never get a birthday card, and so on and so forth. And I said, well, why don't you just phone them? I said, and if it really bothers you that much, I said, send yourself a birthday card and be grateful that you can do that. So every once in a while they'll get together and they'll talk it out and stuff like that, and then they'll go away and they'll complain again. And I said, why don't you just all look to see the beauty in each other and the gifts that you have? Because, there's many people in this world that don't have siblings that they can connect with and argue with and stuff and play games with or just hug. So be thankful for those people in your life because they give you joy. They bring joy to you. And our life expands when we share ourselves with others and share our love. So gratitude heals internally. Many of us carry invisible wounds, regrets, disappointments, and unmet expectations. Gratitude does not erase them, but it transforms them. It reminds us that even in struggle, something sacred happens. And as the mystic Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you ever say in your whole life is thank you, that is enough. Like Rev Tress was up here and said to all of us, thank you all for being here. And thank you for Edith and ladies that do the band. Thank you, Russ, for doing the sound system, and all our volunteers that are here continuously, time and time again. Thank you, everybody, for being here and contributing your beauty and your soul. So gratitude connects us to the infinite flow of abundance. The universe is generous, life is abundant, yet we often live as if scarcity defines our reality. Ernest Holmes wrote in This Thing Called You, the grateful heart is like a magnet sweeping over the world, collecting itself all that is kindred to it. When we cultivate gratitude, we align with this flow. We begin to see opportunities, we begin to see blessings and support that were always there. This is simple practice. Try it each morning. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be big. It could be something small. Your cup of coffee, a cup of tea. Over time, you may notice life opening in unexpected ways. Doors that once seemed closed now appear ajar. The more we recognize abundance, the more abundance our lives become. For me, each morning that I get up, it's my sacred pause. And sometimes I don't always do this, but 99% of the time I do. Sometimes I just jump up because I want that coffee, because I'm grateful to have the coffee. But before I get up, I lay there in bed and I just am thankful for my partner, Lauren, because he keeps me grounded. As some of you have known me for a long time, I'm like running all over the place, doing all kinds of things and stuff. So I'm thankful for him. I don't say anything. I just say to myself, thank you for keeping me grounded, to keep my feet on the ground. My friends and my family, and you are my family, I'm thankful to each and every one of you. My health, so that I can go camp in my van and go hiking. And this past couple of days, I went out to Crimson Lake, and it was magnificent. It was magnificent. The weather was unbelievable. There was no wind. And I went hiking with my best hiking buddy, Rock. He's a black lab. And we did over 20K. And by last night, by the time I got home, my feet were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I did way too many. Probably 2K too many. But yeah, I was grateful that I could do that for my health. And it was so beautiful. We walked the lake. I don't know if you've ever been up to Crimson Lake and you walk that lake. It's absolutely, and hit the lookout site there. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That was one of our walks. The other walk we did all the campsites, and I'm checking down on writing and walking, and I did a little bit of a trip. And then I got back up and said I'm grateful that I could get back up, and off I went and put down all the good campsites that I'm going to try and explore this coming summer. And so I usually try to do 3 or 4 things. And one thing I always say is I'm so thankful for the Spiritual Living Center here and for all who grace this amazing place. Because without you, we wouldn't be here. So thank you. Gratitude is a spiritual act of co-creation. It says to the universe, I see you. I acknowledge your gifts. I welcome your good. And the universe always responds with grace, wisdom, and love. So how do we cultivate this superpower and keep it strong? Here are 5 suggestions. Number 1, start small. Notice the simple good, the sunlight, laughter, the breath, the children playing. Number 2, keep a journal, a gratitude journal. So each morning, just a little book and just write down 3 things. You can even do it when you go to bed. 3 things. That gives you 6. Whoops. I don't know how to count either, so I'm working on that one. So writing down blessings each day, it builds a habit of seeing abundance. Express gratitude to others. Simply say thank you. It can transform a day or a relationship or a life. Find the gift in the challenges. Ask, what can I learn here? Even trials contain a seed of growth. And usually, isn't that true? Is wherever we have our trials and our challenges, isn't that where we grow the most? When things are simple and there's no challenges, it just go day by day. But all of a sudden we hit that wall and it's like, whoa. And what happens is we get worried and we struggle. Instead of saying, thank you, what can I learn from this? What is it teaching me? So be thankful for those challenges because it makes us grow. It makes us stretch as human beings, as souls. And the last one, number 5, begin and end each day with gratitude. Let it frame your prayers, your meditations, and your awareness. And always say thank you to whoever's in your life. And if you're living by yourself, look in the mirror and say thank you. Because you're important. You're very important. Consistency is the key. Gratitude grows strong each time it's practiced. It multiplies and radiates outward into the collective field of consciousness. So today I invite you to make a heartfelt commitment to yourself to live in gratitude daily. Begin each morning with acknowledgement, end each evening with appreciation. Notice the gifts around you, within you, and within others. Remember, gratitude is contagious. When you practice it sincerely, it ripples outward, touching hearts, homes, and communities. It doesn't just change your life, it changes the world. Ernest Holmes reminds us, gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. When we cultivate gratitude, love, compassion, patience, and forgiveness naturally unfold. So let us leave this sacred space with hearts open, eyes attuned to blessings, and spirits aligned with the abundance that surrounds us. Let gratitude be our daily prayer, our sacred practice, and our spiritual superpower. May gratitude guide your steps, light your path, and transform your world. And so it is. Thank you.